Okay, in this video, I just wanted to show you one visualization I found when I was doing some searching in Splunk base. Okay, and I found this one like scalable vector graphics, and it looks really promising visualization. And I think this one has been introduced in Splunk conference 2018 as well. Okay, this particular visualization looks very promising in the sense like it use this SVG technology, right? Because if you remember from when I created the videos on Splunk custom visualization over there, to create a simple arc itself, we used a JavaScript as well as CSS over there, right? And just to print that particular value as well under that arc, right? So that means in normal sense, when you want to create a Splunk visualization, you at least have to know JavaScript and most importantly how to use that d3.js, right? And then you have to know a little bit of CSS as well over there, and on top of that you need to know how to compile those visualizations codes and all those stuff, right? Using npm and all, which all we have seen before, right? Now if let's say if you do not know those kind of technologies, and if you still want to create very cool visualizations by only just knowing SVG. So SVG is a new type of image. It's generally called vector graphics. Okay, so now the difference between a normal image like bitmap and SVG is like, if I just show you one picture over here, it will be clearer for you. Okay, so let me open that one. If you see it over here, this particular image, right? So there is a S over here. Now if you zoom it, right, if you make it bigger, so it is just like this particular pixels are colored with this particular color, right? This is how this image has been created over here. So when you zoom it, you can able to see the pixels over here, right? But when you work with vector graphics and SVG is nothing but scalable vector graphics over here, you can scale that particular image over here, because this is not these images are created by drawing these lines, arcs in this way, so that whenever you zoom it, you won't lose the actual picture over here. Okay, you will not be able to see the pixels over here. Okay, just like you see for other kind of images over here. So now SVG, if you remember in my video on custom visualization, I discussed very briefly about SVG over there as well, right? So it is a XML based structure. So there is a very good website from Mozilla. You should check it out, this one. In this video we are not going to that extent where we will be discussing each and every stuff about SVG. So what I'll do is I'll give you this link in my video description as well. Just have a look, and this is really cool, because if you know XML, you will be able to write this kind of structure over here, right? And you just need to know which tag to use and what kind of functions to use over there, right? So that means it is fully text based. You do not need to have any JavaScript skill or CSS skill over here, right? You just need to know XML and how to use different tags over here in SVG, right? So there are a lot of tutorials available online in W3 schools, as well as this one as well. I found this one very clean and to the point over here. Maybe you should check it out, this one as well. Okay, so and there are a lot of online tools like where you can check out your code. We'll be doing it some of it today as well. Okay, so SVG has a lot of advantages compared to other type of images over here, and when Splunk allow you to create a visualization just by writing a SVG code, that means the possibilities are endless over there. Okay, so let us see the app over there. So this is the app, like when you download it and install it, just like some other Splunk based app, right? So you just go over there from the manage apps, and you just install it from the file, or you can from there you can browse it as well and install it over there. Now SVG app comes with a lot of dashboards. So this is the first dashboard over here. If you see, like these images, it has it has created with this SVG syntax only. Okay, so let us try to see some of it today. Let's say I want this one. Okay, first we'll try to understand functionality wise how it works. Okay, then we will, then it will be easier for us to reason through it. Now the SVG app requires only a single field or single column over here for a particular output, or the result set over here is called SVG underscore viz over here. Okay, so if you have a field called SVG underscore viz and that holds a SVG tag, if you see it over here, something like this one. Okay, it is sufficient enough for this app to render this visualization. So from the visualizations point of view, it will be shown up somewhere over here as well. If you remember, for Sankey diagram, the place I have shown you, the same place it will also show up over here as well. Okay, so the only one requirement is you need to have this one. Now as I told, SVG is a XML based syntax, right? So if you see it over here, this particular SVG, if I just copy it, if I just copy the whole stuff over here and come to this website codepen.io, okay, so you can paste it over here. So it should render this particular SVG accordingly over here. Okay, if you see, it is a really big one. Okay, but the logic wise, it is just drawing this outside rectangle, then inside that outside rectangle it is drawing another rectangle, then it is drawing this rectangles 5 times. Okay, now based on your data, so whatever we have it over here, so this battery icons, like, so there are 5 rectangles over here, 2 are in white colors and 3 are in green colors. That is what they are creating through this XML only. So if I just copy this one into Notepad and paste it over here, language as XML, if you see, it is nothing but it is creating rect tags over here, right? So if I just go to this documentation over here, okay, so there would be something called rect over here, RECT. Okay, so this is the rect tag in SVG, which is nothing but it creates it used to draw rectangles defined by these positions over here, right? So that is what it is doing it over here. So it is creating, this is the outer rectangle, this is the inner rectangle, and then inside that it is creating this bars over here. Okay, so this is creating all these bars over. If you see, the last 2 bars are white colors, right? That's why the style is filled colon white. Even without knowing, even I do not know anything about SVG, I just have a bit fair idea about what SVG is and some of its syntaxes, but I still come to know, like, this 2 bars are white color and the rest of the stuffs are, if you see the style over here, all are in same color. This must be in green color over there. This is the hex code of green color, right? So that is how easy it is to learn SVG and create your own visualizations over there. Now through SVG you can do a lot of complex stuff. We will see that one. Okay, so let us continue. Let us try to see. Even if you see it over here, like, SVG supports animation as well. So this is how you draw an animation over here in SVG. So if you see the graphics over here, the SVG code over here, this is how you create a animation over there. So this app by default comes up with this SVGs already, right? So if you need something from here, you can always refer this SVG code and work upon on this one, right? Now if you see, they have created this type of stuff as well, right, where you are basically monitoring some infrastructure, right? So you can create this kind of complex diagram as well over here. If I just open this one, this will look little bit complex over here. Okay, it's a bit complex over here because there are a lot of in the path tag, there is a D tag over here, right? And it supports a lot of commands like aim for move, that means move to this coordinate, and draw a curve over there from this coordinate to this coordinate. This is how it draws over there in SVG, right? So this looks a bit complex over here. Okay, in these cases, right, you can always create your diagram in a vector graphics tool. There are a lot of tools available in market currently, and some of it is free as well, like I think open source as well. You can search in Google. I think one of them is Inkspace as well, as far I know. in in Inkscape, I think. Yeah, this supports SVG fully, so you can draw. I think this one is open source as well, so you can draw the diagram over here, and you can convert it to a SVG code from here as well. So the possibility, if you see it over here, is very much endless over here, right? So yeah, so that is how it is. So we were in, okay, over here. Okay, so now the question arises, like we at least got a fair idea how we can leverage SVG to create a visualization, right? Now think about this one, like there, suppose you need to display some numbers over here, like, so in those cases you need to pass the numbers from your events, right, or from your search results to this SVG, right? So in those cases, generally what you do, basically you create this SVG code dynamically, right, using macro. So if you see, just for an example, if you see this battery diagram over here, right, so they used a macro over here, Splunk Vis battery burst simple. So let us see this one. So just to see the macro code, what you need to do, you need to keep your cursor over here, then Control Shift E, it will expand the macro over here. Okay, so if you see inside the macro only, they are creating, first of all, a new field called SVG underscore Viz. They have to create that one, and this is the field over here, right? So SVG underscore Viz, right? Now if you see, they are doing a lot of evals over here, right? So all this SVG Viz bar 1 color, bar 2 color, everything they are using inside as well. So there, if you see, this dot is the append operator over here, right? So they are just appending, they're setting those values over there, and they are appending. So there are 5 birds, so for each and every bird they are setting up the colors based on that count, and then they are just appending to the SVG code down below, right? Now let us move on. Let us see what are the other different stuff it is there. So if you see, like, you can create this kind of stuff as well. This is really easy to create this kind of stuff in SVG as well. Okay, if you just run the code over here, open insert, you will able to see the SVG code over there. Like, even if you install this app, you can directly use those SVG codes over here as well, right? Now if I just go to infrastructure monitoring dashboard over here also they have given couple of examples. Like, if you see, this is a very complex infrastructure diagram over here. So not only in terms of like using this particular SVG diagrams, they also pass some numbers over here as well, right? So similar way, like they created a macro from the events, they just pass those values inside the macro as a input parameter. Okay, now if you just see other dashboards over here, this is the cool feature. Even if you see, like, for a lot of geographical location, there are SVG diagram available as well. Okay, so you can leverage those stuff as well. And if you see the SVG codes, you cannot write it on your own, because this is way complex, because these are all like coordinates, right? Go to this point and this point and this point. So it's always better to download it, either download it from the reliable source, or if you can draw it in some of the apps as I shown you over here, then you can convert it to a SVG code over there. Okay, that's easily possible. Even if you search in Google, there are a lot of websites. You can see there are a lot of free SVG images are available as well. Okay, so this is the code for Ireland and England. So this is, if you see, this is really hairy. Now let's move on. Even for normal circles and squares, there are a lot of examples available here as well. So based on our need, maybe we can use that. So this is for like different, as we have seen in our first dashboard. So they're like battery and their percentages and different size of batteries over there, right? So some different visualizations it is depicting. Even this one is for battery with bars as well, which we have seen in our first dashboard only, right? Now there are certain visualizations on trucks, okay? So even you can use this kind of cool visualizations as well over there, okay? Maybe it is for like whether out of 5, whether two switches are on or 3 switches are on or all switches are on. Maybe this kind of scenarios you can use this kind of visualizations. Now this is a wall board, that means it will not show any other stuff over here. I'll just only show this complex diagram, and this is fully written in SVG only, okay? So maybe I will not encourage you to go to see the SVG code over there. It will not make much sense, but just try to see whether you can differentiate between these two. Search through the code and see where the firewall code lies, and then how it is connected to internet and those stuff. Maybe just try to analyze that one. You'll get a fair idea like what I'm talking about here. And if you see this one, I think this one is going to take some time, but this is also possible in Splunk, but I don't know how much it is helpful. But this is an image, and let us wait that image for that image to be rendered. If you see it over here, even in SVG you can create, I think this is Queen Elizabeth's image. So this one also, this type of complex images also you can create through SVGs, okay? And anyway, that is what I told, like in this type of scenario where your images are very much complex, you need to do the other way around. Like you will draw this image in some softwares which supports vector graphics, and then from there you will just download that SVG version, that code, SVG code over there, okay? So then you can use it in your Splunk app as well, right? You just need to have that SVG_viz field over there. You have to assign that particular XML code over there, right? So it is that much simple to create this kind of complex visualizations in Splunk now, right? Now as Splunk support Trellis, which we already discussed in our channel, right? So there also you will be using the similar kind of functionality over there, right? So if I just do a search over here, so your SVG will be the logic will be like this is our trellis, right? So that means within a single panel I have multiple visualizations over here, right? Now based on the value, it will show different bars over here, right? So that is what you will be passing to this macro over here, how many bars you want to display, right? Now based on that, this macro will be creating this SVG codes over here, right? If you see all this, for all these different rows, all these different bars values, it is having similar SVG code, but only the different is that bar values will be changing everywhere. So that this macro will be, when we will pass these bars to this macro, right, it will generate that SVG code correspondingly. So that is the difference. There will be nothing else over there, right? So you can create this kind of trellis structure as well, trellis visualizations as well, using SVG as well, right? Now if I just go to trellis again, so similar kind of stuff for counters and trucks as well, okay? So even I think there is some kind of fruit machines over here. If you see, like this kind of stuff you can create in SVG visualization app. Now these are some more examples on how to use even this kind of stuff. Sometimes useful when your visualization have some requirement on based on the users, right? Maybe you can use this kind of SVG graphics as well over there, right? And there are certain how-tos, like when this dashboards is mainly used for development purpose, like how you want to pass a token from a drop down to this one. Like this is simple, right? Because if you see the code over here, right? So this is how you pass, because you will be passing that value to you will be evaluating that value to a to a field, right? You'll be creating a new field, and you'll be passing that field to that macro over here, right? And this macro you'll be creating, right? So that it will dynamically generate based on that value, right? So over here, if you see, like when I select 5, so this will be changing because this 5 will be passed to that macro, and that macro will be dynamically generating that SVG code, right? So everything else will be same, only that portion where, see the how it is rendering, as I told before. So based on this value, if it is 3, only 3 this vertical boxes will be colored with green, rest of the boxes will be colored with white. So when you will select 5, so all these vertical boxes will be colored with green. So that's the logic it has used behind the scene over there, right? So different haikus, even they have given playground as well. Here you can always explore like with those SVGs and all over there, right? So certain this type of visualizations they have given over here. Okay, so in terms of functionality, this is very simplistic app, which and design wise also, like the very simplistic, because it only requires a single field, which is svg underscore viz, right? So this is the field it needs to render the visualizations over there. Rest of the stuff you can write fully on svg over there. That's all, right? It's going to render that in your dashboard over there. Okay, and to make it dynamic, you will be requiring to create a macro, right, to make it dynamic. So dynamically it will create this svg code over there. Okay, so hopefully this video was interesting. In future we will see some more visualizations as well, and some other topics as well. Okay, see you in next video.